J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone my very first Walking Dead Season 6 episode review video. But before I get into that, it's extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead that you pay attention to the episode title. I'll even put that title in the description for you. If that's the case and you find yourself not caught up, I suggest, and so does everybody else, that you don't watch this video any further, simply to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode number 1. The title of this episode is called First Time Again. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode, and keep in mind it's an episode I've seen a couple times, just reviewing it to have it reviewed on my channel, and reviewing it due to the fact that they announced that Season 11 of The Walking Dead will be the conclusion of the main Walking Dead show, not necessarily The Walking Dead series as a whole. So this episode kind of goes back and forth between current time and flashbacks. We start off with Rick and the Alexandrians standing at the top of a granite quarry filled with thousands of walkers. Now, as Rick begins to make a speech outlining his plan to lure the walkers out of the quarry and away from the Alexandria place, a rock collapses beneath one of the trucks that has been blocking an exit, which frees the walkers. Now, Rick is forced to immediately execute his plan a day ahead of schedule, while the Alexandrians who haven't been told the details flee for their lives. Flare guns and Daryl's noisy motorcycle are used to lure the walkers out into a parade, essentially, turning them west and up a valley. Now, what we do is we have black and white flashbacks show select events following the town council meeting where Reg and Pete were killed at the end of season 5. Glenn brings Nicholas in for medical treatment, concealing his actions that had happened. Tara wakes up finally. Deanna blames Gabriel for turning her against Rick's group. In the morning, Heath returns from a 2-week supply run with his team of Scott and Annie, and then Morgan tells Rick about the wolves when they encounter Tobin and Gabriel burying Pete and Reg's corpses. Now, Rick stops them from burying Pete, saying the killer should not be buried within the walls, while the grieving Deanna tells them to discard Pete's corpse in the lonely woods. Now there, Rick and Morgan discover the quarry where they deposit walkers accidentally attracted by Pete's oldest son, Ron, who actually had followed them. So now Ron knows what's going on and he is not happy. Rick realizes that the quarry serves as a walker trap that had helped keep Alexandria safe, but it now represents a serious danger with hundreds of walkers behind barricades, which will eventually fail. It will. It always does in The Walking Dead. And Morgan has been provoking Rick to question his conscience, and in Ron's presence, Rick changes his mind and begins to dig a grave for Pete instead of dumping his body like trash in the quarry. And then Rick warns Alexandria about the threat of the herd in the quarry. Grieving Deanna has mentally checked out and effectively cedes all authority to Rick, who voices his intention to free the walkers from the quarry and lure them 20 miles away from Alexandria. Now, Rick's group present a strong and united front against the protests from the Alexandrians, though Carter, who's a new character that were introduced in this episode, like Heath and Scott and Annie, is brave enough to raise valid objections at the risks in executing Rick's plan. Later, when an unarmed construction team is building a wall intended to turn the herd, Rick unexpectedly actually holds back his armored people and allows walkers to close in on them, essentially, and in effort to teach them how to defend themselves with their tools at hand. Shocked, the construction team panic and falter, and Rick's people defy his orders to save the Alexandrians' lives, mainly Morgan, Carter is outraged and secretly meets with Spencer, Tobin, Francine, and Olivia in the armory and proposes to assassinate Rick before he kills someone else. And then Eugene is caught overhearing the proposed plot, and Carter contemplates killing Eugene. Not a good idea, but is stopped by Rick, who just happens to arrive at that moment in force with Daryl and Morgan, his number 1 and number 2 probably. Or you could count Michonne in that, or Carol. Yeah, there's a bunch. Anyway, Rick takes Carter down to his knees and holds Carter's pistol to his head for several moments, dominating Carter before letting him up to serve his plan. In the present, we're back to the non-black and white stuff. Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha act as bait to lure the escaped walkers away from Alexandria, and then Abraham actually shows signs of PTSD over Rick's slaying of Pete while Abraham was restraining him. Abraham's done much worse in the apocalypse. Why is he all of a sudden feeling bad about something? Pete deserved what he got. That is a fact. There's no defending Pete's actions. Anyways, Glenn leads Nicholas and Heath to kill walkers trapped in a store along the route, whose noise might otherwise distract the herd. And then Glenn is concerned about Nicholas being ready, but Nicholas does more than his part. And then Rick has lines of people in the woods on either side of the road and tells them they need to watch the walkers like cops at a parade to ensure the walkers do not stray off. Carter runs to the front and is very trusting of Rick's plan and his life to Rick's plan rather than his own judgment, and is grabbed and bitten in the face by a walker unexpectedly trapped amongst the trees. Poor Carter. Carter's terrified, screaming attracts the walkers on the road, so Rick has the group fire guns to redirect them back to course. And then Rick finds Carter and kills the walker attacking him, and then stabs Carter in the neck to kill him. So Carter, it was nice knowing you for this, not even a whole episode, but apparently this actor really wanted to be on The Walking Dead, and he had tried out for it a bunch of times. So glad he was able to get on there. I think he actually tried out for Rick, if I'm not mistaken. And then towards the end of the episode, they are nearing the green marker where Rick believes the parade of walkers will continue on course without further intervention when a distant horn starts blaring. The rear half of the parade turn toward the noise and break into a loose herd as they filter through the woods. Rick and Michonne immediately realize the sound is actually coming from Alexandria, and Rick's plan has no contingency for that, and that's how the episode ends. So we have some horn blaring at Alexandria, and we don't know what. So this episode, while it put a lot of stuff into it, I would have preferred a more slow episode and a more character-based episode. We really needed to see what happened directly after Morgan showed up and went Rick, and went from there. I think we got too much in this episode, and it made it a little too crazy, I think. I mean, all of a sudden they have this quarry, and all of a sudden they have this plan to, like too many things didn't get, talked about in this episode, I guess. But still entertaining, still a good start to the season, but watching it again, it seems like not a lot of stuff was given. Or we got a lot of stuff, but the way we got there was kind of just overlooked. But I guess they did the flashback stuff. But anyway, regardless of that, my score of the episode is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. Character of the episode, I really can't give it to anybody else but Rick, because Rick was awesome. It was good to see Morgan on the main show again with everybody else. Daryl, Carol, he actually talked to Carol, and he figured out that Carol was, he's like, you a cop? Because you're always observing everything, and he knows Carol's game, that's for sure. So it was okay. Most people would probably get more of a high 8. I'm giving it kind of a middle of the road 8. Give it the score you want. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it is your turn. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode from season 6, first time there, or first time again I should say, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody else that you think would be interested in listening or watching this video, share the video with them. Don't forget please don't forget to leave me a comment, and that can be your thoughts on the episode, your character of the episode, your score of the episode, or your favorite episodes of The Walking Dead, least favorite, favorite characters, least favorite characters, anything you want to put, that would go in the comment section. And last, but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special, and JDev will return.